The crisp autumn air bit at my cheeks as I watched the chaos unfold from across the manicured lawn of the Thorne estate. It wasn't the usual kind of wedding chaos. The frantic last-minute adjustments, the teary-eyed bridesmaids, the groom nervously fiddling with his cufflinks. No, this was different. This was orchestrated chaos, a symphony of culinary disaster, unfolding with the precision of a seasoned conductor leading a rogue orchestra. And the conductor, my dear friend Eleanor Vance, was enjoying every minute of it. Eleanor, a woman whose culinary skills could rival any Michelin-starred chef, had been dealt a blow most mothers wouldn't survive. Her daughter Clara was marrying Julian Thorne, a man whose arrogance was only surpassed by his complete disregard for anyone who didn't share his impeccable and, frankly, boring taste. He dismissed Eleanor's decades of experience with a wave of his manicured hand and a check for a sum that could feed a small village for a year, a check Eleanor promptly returned, adding a note that would have made even a seasoned diplomat blush. This wasn't just about a catering contract. It was a battle of wills, a clash between generations, a war waged with whisks and woks instead of swords and shields. I, Russell Marshall, a man who preferred the quiet company of a good book to the boisterous din of social gatherings, found myself unexpectedly embroiled in the heart of it all. My role? Observer, confidant, and occasional taste tester, a position I hadn't anticipated, but one I found strangely exhilarating. My younger colleagues, Darren and Lauren, Eleanor's assistants, were equally surprised, but equally committed to the cause. They were young, enthusiastic, and possessed an almost supernatural ability to follow Eleanor's increasingly bizarre instructions. Brielle, Julian's icy blonde fiancé, was the antagonist in this delicious drama. She, like Julian, possessed an unshakable belief in her own superiority, a belief that extended to every aspect of her meticulously planned, perfect wedding. Little did she know Eleanor, armed with her grandmother's secret recipes and a lifetime of simmering resentment, was about to turn that perfect wedding into a culinary catastrophe of epic proportions. The air crackled with anticipation, a heady mix of fear and excitement that left me breathless, and as the first disastrous course was served, I knew this was going to be a story I wouldn't soon forget. Before we continue, don't forget to like this audio and subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon in the bottom right corner of your screen. And tell me in the comments, where are you listening from and what are you doing while listening? I love knowing who I'm sharing this moment with. Now let's continue with the story. The first casualty of Eleanor's culinary coup was the amuse-bouche. Instead of the delicate, sophisticated canapés Brielle had specified, miniature smoked salmon blinis with caviar, no less, the guests were presented with something far more rustic. These were not your average, run-of-the-mill, store-bought appetizers. These were miniature meat pies filled with a rich, gamey stew that tasted suspiciously like squirrel. Now, I'm not opposed to squirrel, but in the context of a high-society wedding, it was unexpected. The horrified expressions on the faces of the Thorne family were priceless. Brielle, her perfectly sculpted face, contorted in a mask of barely concealed fury, whispered furiously to a flustered waiter. The main course was even more spectacular. Brielle had envisioned a perfectly seared fillet of sea bass, accompanied by asparagus and a light lemon butter sauce. What the guests received was a hearty, steaming bowl of Eleanor's grandmother's legendary Brunswick stew. This wasn't just any stew. It was a culinary legend, a concoction of rabbit, squirrel, chicken, and a secret blend of herbs and spices that could only be described as adventurous. The aroma alone was enough to clear the room of anyone with a delicate constitution. I saw Julian's face turn a shade of green that rivaled the asparagus. Darren and Lauren, bless their hearts, maintained a facade of professional composure, expertly navigating the increasingly chaotic situation. They expertly deflected questions, offered apologetic smiles, and subtly replaced the offending dishes with platters of slightly less offensive, though still surprisingly unconventional, fare. It was a delicate balancing act, a culinary tightrope, walk that only Eleanor's years of experience could have pulled off. The dessert, however, was the pièce de résistance. Brielle had opted for a classic wedding cake, a multi-tiered masterpiece of fondant and frosting. Eleanor, on the other hand, presented a magnificent, towering creation made entirely of gingerbread. Not just any gingerbread, mind you, but gingerbread sculpted into a life-size replica of Julian's prize-winning hunting dog, complete with intricately detailed fur and a surprisingly accurate likeness of the dog's rather grumpy expression. The cake, or rather the gingerbread dog, was served in slices, each piece revealing a surprisingly spicy filling. The horrified gasps from the guests were almost drowned out by the delighted shrieks of the children, who seemed to find the whole thing utterly delightful. Throughout the entire ordeal, Eleanor maintained a calm, almost serene demeanor. She moved through the chaos with the grace of a seasoned general, directing her troops with a series of barely audible whispers and knowing glances. She seemed to relish the chaos, her eyes twinkling with mischief as she watched her culinary creations wreak havoc on the perfectly planned wedding. I, meanwhile, found myself increasingly captivated by her quiet rebellion, her subtle act of defiance against the stifling constraints of societal expectations. The wedding, of course, didn't go exactly as planned, but in a strange way, it was. Perfect? It was a testament to Eleanor's unwavering spirit, her refusal to be silenced, her ability to find joy even in the midst of utter chaos. It was a celebration of individuality, a rebellion against conformity, and a delicious reminder that sometimes the most satisfying victories are the ones that are served on a plate. Later that evening, as the last of the guests departed, leaving behind a trail of crumbs and bewildered expressions, Eleanor and I sat on the patio, sipping champagne and watching the fireworks. The air was filled with the lingering scent of gingerbread and the faint echo of laughter. Clara, surprisingly, seemed unfazed by the culinary chaos. She laughed, recounting the bewildered expressions of her future in-laws. She confessed that she had always suspected her mother possessed a rebellious streak, a streak she secretly admired. Julian, on the other hand, seemed utterly defeated, his carefully constructed image of perfection shattered by a wave of spicy gingerbread and squirrel stew. It was unconventional, he mumbled, his voice barely a whisper as he watched the fireworks light up the night sky. Eleanor simply smiled, a knowing glint in her eyes. "Unconventional is my middle name, darling," she said, raising her glass in a silent toast to her successful culinary coup. Darren and Lauren joined us, their faces flushed with exhaustion and triumph. They recounted their escapades with a mix of laughter and disbelief, their tales adding to the already legendary status of the Thorne wedding. The next day, I received a phone call from Brielle. She was surprisingly calm, almost apologetic. She admitted that the wedding, while unconventional, had been memorable. She even asked for Eleanor's grandmother's Brunswick stew recipe. I couldn't help but smile. Even Brielle, the queen of perfection, had been conquered by Eleanor's culinary rebellion. The story of Eleanor's culinary coup spread like wildfire. It became a legend, a testament to the power of a mother's love, a daughter's understanding, and a grandmother's secret recipes. It was a story that reminded us all that sometimes the best way to fight back against arrogance and conformity is with a well-placed meat pie, a hearty bowl of stew, and a gingerbread dog that's almost too good to eat. And as for Eleanor, she's back to catering, her reputation enhanced, her legend cemented, and her waiting list longer than ever. And me? I'm still enjoying the aftertaste of that Brunswick stew. It was, after all, a truly unforgettable experience, but the story doesn't end there. The aftermath of the Thorne wedding brought about some unexpected changes. Clara, emboldened by her mother's rebellious spirit, started questioning her own life choices. She began to explore her own culinary talents, much to Eleanor's delight. They even started collaborating on a cookbook, a collection of family recipes and innovative creations, a testament to their shared passion and newfound understanding. Julian, humbled by the experience, surprisingly found a new appreciation for simple pleasures. He traded his tailored suits for comfortable tweed jackets and started spending more time outdoors, his arrogance replaced by a quiet contentment. Brielle, having tasted the unconventional delights of Eleanor's cooking, embarked on a culinary journey of her own, abandoning her pursuit of perfection for the joy of experimentation. She even started a blog, documenting her culinary adventures and sharing her newfound appreciation for rustic charm. Darren and Lauren, now seasoned veterans of culinary chaos, became indispensable members of Eleanor's catering team. Their skills honed by the Thorne wedding, they could handle any culinary challenge with aplomb and a healthy dose of humor. They often recounted the story of the gingerbread dog with exaggerated flair, adding new details and embellishments with each telling, transforming it into an epic saga of culinary rebellion. Their loyalty to Eleanor was unwavering, forged in the fires of that unforgettable wedding. As for me, I found myself drawn into Eleanor's world, becoming a regular fixture at her kitchen, offering my assistance, mostly involving the tasting of new recipes, and enjoying the camaraderie of her team. I discovered a newfound appreciation for the simple joys of good food, good company, and the occasional act of delicious rebellion. The Thorne wedding, a seemingly disastrous event, had unexpectedly brought a group of unlikely friends together, united by a shared love of food and a healthy dose of mischief. However, our newfound peace was short-lived. A new challenge, even more formidable than Julian Thorne, emerged from the culinary shadows: the prestigious Golden Whisk Awards. Eleanor, despite her newfound fame, had never entered the competition, dismissing it as a frivolous affair for pretentious chefs. But Clara, ever the innovator, saw it as an opportunity, a chance to showcase their collaborative cookbook and cement Eleanor's legacy. Eleanor, initially resistant, was eventually persuaded by Clara's unwavering enthusiasm and the persuasive argument that winning would provide a significant boost to their burgeoning cookbook sales. The competition was fierce, filled with culinary titans and their meticulously crafted dishes. Eleanor's unconventional approach, while celebrated by her loyal following, was viewed with suspicion by the judges, a panel of renowned food critics, known for their conservative palates. The pressure mounted, threatening to unravel the harmony of our little culinary team. Darren, usually unflappable, started experiencing sleepless nights, haunted by visions of disastrous soufflés and burnt bechamel. Lauren, ever the optimist, tried to maintain morale with pep talks and impromptu baking sessions, but even her infectious enthusiasm began to wane under the weight of expectation. The tension in Eleanor's kitchen was palpable, a stark contrast to the joyous chaos of the Thorne wedding. This wasn't just about winning a trophy. It was about proving that unconventional could be extraordinary, that rebellion could be refined, and that even a grandmother's secret recipes could conquer the most discerning of palates. The stakes were high and the pressure cooker was about to blow. Eleanor, however, remained unfazed. She thrived under pressure, her creativity ignited by the challenge. She spent sleepless nights perfecting her dishes, experimenting with new flavor combinations, and refining her grandmother's recipes to meet the exacting standards of the competition. Her usual calm demeanor was replaced by a focused intensity, her movements precise and deliberate. She delegated tasks with military precision, her instructions clear and concise, leaving Darren and Lauren no room for error. They, in turn, rose to the occasion, their initial anxieties replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. They worked tirelessly, their teamwork seamless and efficient, their shared experiences from the Thorne wedding strengthening their bond and bolstering their confidence. The kitchen, once filled with tension, became a hive of focused activity, a symphony of culinary precision. Even I, the reluctant observer, found myself swept up in the whirlwind of activity, assisting with chopping vegetables, stirring sauces, and, of course, providing my invaluable taste-testing services. The air buzzed with a quiet energy, a palpable sense of determination that even the most seasoned critics couldn't ignore. Eleanor's secret weapon, however, remained her grandmother's recipes, a legacy of culinary ingenuity passed down through generations, a testament to the enduring power of tradition and innovation. The Golden Whisk Awards were no longer just a competition. They were a battle, a fight for culinary recognition, a testament to the unwavering spirit of a woman who refused to be confined by convention. The day of the awards ceremony arrived, a whirlwind of nervous energy and anticipation. Eleanor, dressed in a surprisingly elegant and surprisingly comfortable linen dress, exuded a quiet confidence that belied the pressure she was under. Clara, radiant and supportive, stood by her side, a reassuring presence amidst the swirling chaos of the event. Darren and Lauren, impeccably dressed and surprisingly composed, hovered nearby, ready to handle any last-minute emergencies. The atmosphere in the grand ballroom was electric, a mix of nervous excitement and cutthroat competition. The air crackled with unspoken rivalries, the whispers of culinary gossip weaving through the elegant crowd. Eleanor's competitors, a collection of impeccably groomed chefs with an air of self-assured superiority, eyed her with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Their dishes, displayed on gleaming platters, were works of art, meticulously crafted and visually stunning. Eleanor's entries, in contrast, possessed a rustic charm, a homely simplicity that seemed out of place amidst the refined elegance of the competition. But there was a warmth, a sense of genuine passion in her creations, a quality that transcended mere presentation. As the judges began their deliberations, a palpable tension filled the room, a silent battle waged between tradition and innovation, between convention and rebellion. The wait felt interminable, each moment stretching into an eternity, the suspense almost unbearable. The fate of Eleanor's culinary legacy and the future of our little team hung precariously in the balance. The announcement felt like an eternity, incoming. The head judge, a stern-faced woman with a reputation for unwavering impartiality, cleared her throat, her gaze sweeping across the expectant crowd. A hush fell over the room, the only sound the nervous drumming of fingers and the faint clinking of champagne glasses. She began to speak, her voice measured and precise, detailing the merits of each dish, highlighting the technical skill and creative flair of the various contestants. She praised the intricate details of the molecular gastronomy creations, the delicate balance of flavors in the fusion dishes, the sheer artistry of the plated desserts. With each description, my heart sank a little further. Eleanor's entries, with their rustic charm and unpretentious simplicity, seemed worlds away from the refined elegance of her competitors' creations. Doubt gnawed at me, a cold, creeping fear that her unconventional approach would be deemed insufficient, her passion overlooked in favor of technical perfection. Darren and Lauren exchanged nervous glances, their faces a mixture of hope and apprehension. Clara, however, remained steadfast, her unwavering belief in her mother's talent, a beacon of hope in the gathering gloom. Then, the moment arrived. The head judge paused, her gaze settling on Eleanor. A smile almost imperceptible played on her lips. The air crackled with anticipation, the silence deafening. And then, she spoke the words that would change everything. "This year's Golden Whisk Award," she announced, her voice ringing with authority, "goes to Eleanor Vance." A wave of stunned silence washed over the room, followed by an eruption of applause and cheers. Eleanor, initially speechless, a look of sheer disbelief on her face, was embraced by Clara, who whooped with delight. Darren and Lauren, their faces beaming with pride and relief, rushed forward to join the celebration. The previously disdainful competitors offered their congratulations, their earlier skepticism replaced by genuine admiration. The judges, their faces betraying a hint of surprise, approached Eleanor, showering her with praise for her innovative approach, her masterful use of traditional techniques, and the sheer passion evident in her cooking. They lauded her ability to transcend mere technical skill, to create dishes that resonated on an emotional level, dishes that evoked memories and stirred feelings. They admitted that her unconventional style had initially surprised them, but that the depth of flavor and the sheer originality of her creations had ultimately won them over. The award, a gleaming golden whisk, felt surprisingly heavy in Eleanor's hand. It wasn't just a symbol of culinary excellence. It was a testament to her unwavering spirit, her refusal to compromise her vision, and her unwavering belief in the power of unconventional creativity. The victory was not just hers, it was a shared triumph, a testament to the strength of their team, the unwavering support of her daughter, and the enduring power of a grandmother's secret recipes. The night ended with a celebratory dinner, a joyous gathering of friends and colleagues, a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and a whole lot of delicious rebellion. The following weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Eleanor and Clara's cookbook, Unconventional Delights, became an instant bestseller, its unique recipes and heartwarming stories captivating readers and inspiring home cooks alike. Eleanor's catering business boomed, her waiting list extending months into the future. Darren and Lauren, now recognized as culinary stars in their own right, were inundated with job offers, but remained loyal to Eleanor, their shared experiences forging an unbreakable bond. They even started developing their own line of specialty sauces, inspired by Eleanor's grandmother's secret recipes. Brielle, ever the entrepreneur, launched a successful line of artisanal food products, her initial skepticism replaced by a deep appreciation for Eleanor's unconventional approach. She even collaborated with Eleanor on a limited edition line of gourmet preserves, a testament to their unlikely friendship. Julian, surprisingly, found a new career path, becoming a food writer, his articles celebrating the simple pleasures of home cooking and the importance of family traditions. He even penned a glowing review of Eleanor's cookbook, admitting that he had learned a valuable lesson about embracing the unexpected. The Thorne wedding, once a symbol of culinary disaster, had transformed into a catalyst for change, a turning point in the lives of everyone involved. It was a reminder that even the most unconventional paths can lead to extraordinary outcomes, that rebellion can be refined, and that sometimes the most delicious victories are the ones that are least expected. And as for me, I continued to enjoy the delicious fruits of their labor, savoring the taste of success, friendship, and a whole lot of delicious, unconventional food. But the culinary world, like life itself, is rarely without its challenges. A new competitor emerged, a culinary prodigy named Chef Antoine Dubois, a master of molecular gastronomy with a reputation for ruthlessness and a penchant for elaborate, visually stunning dishes. Dubois, captivated by Eleanor's unexpected success, saw her as a threat, a challenge to his dominance in the culinary world. He launched a series of scathing critiques of Eleanor's cookbook, dismissing her recipes as rustic and unrefined, his words dripping with thinly veiled contempt. He even went so far as to create a line of competing products, directly challenging Eleanor's success in the gourmet food market. This wasn't just a professional rivalry, it was a full-blown culinary war, a battle waged with cleverly worded press releases, strategically placed product endorsements, and of course, exquisitely crafted dishes. Eleanor, initially unfazed, found herself increasingly frustrated by Dubois' relentless attacks. The pressure mounted, threatening to overshadow her recent victory. The once harmonious atmosphere in her kitchen became tense, the easy camaraderie replaced by a palpable sense of urgency. Darren and Lauren, while supportive, felt the strain of the escalating conflict. Clara, ever the voice of reason, urged her mother to ignore Dubois' provocations, but even her unwavering optimism began to falter under the relentless barrage of criticism. The stakes were higher than ever before, the future of Eleanor's culinary empire hanging precariously in the balance. This was no longer a simple battle of wills. It was a fight for survival, a culinary showdown of epic proportions. Eleanor, however, was not one to back down from a challenge. She met Dubois' attacks with a renewed sense of determination, her creativity ignited by the conflict. She spent weeks in her kitchen, experimenting with new recipes, refining her techniques and developing a series of dishes designed to showcase the superiority of her approach. She wasn't just going to compete, she was going to obliterate Dubois. She enlisted the help of Darren and Lauren, pushing them to their creative limits, challenging them to develop innovative flavor combinations and visually stunning presentations. They worked tirelessly, their initial anxieties replaced by a fierce determination to prove their worth. Clara, inspired by her mother's unwavering resolve, took on the role of strategist, developing a comprehensive marketing campaign designed to counter Dubois' attacks. She used social media to her advantage, highlighting the authenticity and heart behind Eleanor's recipes, contrasting them with the cold, clinical perfection of Dubois' creations. The culinary war escalated, each side launching new attacks, each dish a carefully crafted weapon in the battle for culinary supremacy. The tension was palpable, the stakes impossibly high. The outcome would not only determine the fate of Eleanor's culinary empire, but also the future of her team, their dreams, and their unwavering belief in the power of unconventional creativity. The stage was set for a final, epic showdown, a culinary duel that would determine the true king or queen of the kitchen. The duel took place at the prestigious Culinary Clash, a televised cook-off watched by millions. The set was a gleaming modern kitchen, a stark contrast to Eleanor's cozy home-style kitchen. Dubois, impeccably dressed in his signature white chef's jacket, exuded an air of confident superiority. Eleanor, in contrast, wore a simple apron, her demeanor calm but resolute. The challenge was simple: create a dish that showcased their unique culinary philosophy. Dubois, true to form, presented a complex molecular gastronomy creation, a visually stunning masterpiece of foams, gels, and spheres. The dish was a testament to his technical skill, a showcase of his mastery of modern culinary techniques. Eleanor, however, presented something far more unconventional. She unveiled a simple pot of Brunswick stew, the same legendary recipe, that had once caused chaos at the Thorne wedding. But this wasn't just any Brunswick stew. This was a refined, elevated version, the flavors intensified, the textures perfected, the presentation elegant, yet unpretentious. The judges, a panel of renowned food critics, tasted both dishes with meticulous care. The tension in the studio was palpable, the silence broken only by the clinking of forks and the occasional hushed whisper. The verdict hung in the balance, a testament to the power of tradition versus innovation, of rustic charm versus technical perfection. The moment of truth arrived, the fate of the culinary war resting on the words of the head judge. The silence was deafening, the anticipation almost unbearable. The winner of this culinary clash, the head judge announced, her voice ringing with authority, is Eleanor Vance. The studio erupted in cheers and applause. Eleanor, her face betraying a mixture of surprise and elation, embraced Clara, Darren, and Lauren, who rushed to congratulate her. Dubois, his face a mask of disbelief, offered a grudging nod of respect. The judges, in their critiques, praised Eleanor's ability to elevate a classic dish, to transform a simple stew into a culinary masterpiece. They lauded her mastery of flavor, her understanding of texture, and the sheer passion evident in her cooking. They acknowledged Dubois' technical skill, but emphasized the emotional depth and enduring appeal of Eleanor's creation. The Brunswick stew, once a symbol of culinary rebellion, had become a testament to the enduring power of tradition, a reminder that simplicity and authenticity could triumph over technical perfection. Dubois, humbled by his defeat, admitted that Eleanor's dish had resonated with him on a deeper level, evoking memories of his own grandmother's cooking. He conceded that while he admired his own technical skills, he lacked the emotional depth and connection to his food that Eleanor possessed. The culinary war was over, and Eleanor had emerged victorious not just as a culinary champion, but as a symbol of authenticity, passion, and the enduring power of unconventional creativity. The victory was sweet, a testament to the strength of her team, their unwavering belief in her vision, and the enduring legacy of her grandmother's recipes. The aftermath of the culinary clash was a period of unprecedented success for Eleanor and her team. Her cookbook sales skyrocketed, her catering business expanded, and her reputation as a culinary innovator was cemented. Darren and Lauren, their skills honed by the intense competition, launched their own successful line of gourmet sauces, their products flying off the shelves. Clara, now a seasoned culinary strategist, became a sought-after consultant, her expertise in marketing and branding highly sought after in the industry. Even Dubois, having learned a valuable lesson about the importance of emotional connection, in cooking shifted his focus, incorporating more traditional techniques and heartfelt stories into his creations. He and Eleanor even collaborated on a joint venture, a series of cooking classes that blended modern techniques with traditional recipes, a testament to their newfound respect for each other. The culinary war had ended, not with animosity, but with a newfound appreciation for diversity and collaboration. The Brunswick stew, once a symbol of rebellion, became a culinary legend, a reminder that authenticity and passion could triumph over technical perfection. Helena, however, remained grounded, her success never overshadowing her love for family, friends, and the simple joys of cooking. She continued to run her catering business, her kitchen a haven of creativity and camaraderie, her recipes a legacy of tradition and innovation. And as for me, I continued to enjoy the delicious fruits of their labor, a grateful witness to their extraordinary journey, a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and a whole lot of delicious, unconventional food. Years passed. Eleanor, now a culinary icon, continued to inspire generations of cooks with her unique blend of tradition and innovation. Clara, having carved her own path in the culinary world, established her own successful restaurant, showcasing her own innovative approach to farm-to-table cuisine. Darren and Lauren, now seasoned culinary entrepreneurs, expanded their sauce empire. Their products sold in gourmet shops across the country. Dubois, having embraced a more holistic approach to cooking, became a respected mentor. His classes, emphasizing the importance of emotional connection and storytelling in the culinary arts. The Thorne family, once the unwitting participants in Eleanor's culinary rebellion, became unlikely allies, their appreciation for unconventional delights deepening over time. Brielle, having found her own culinary niche, became a successful food blogger and cookbook author, her work celebrating the beauty of simple, wholesome ingredients. The story of Eleanor's culinary journey became a legend, a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the importance of staying true to oneself. It was a reminder that even the most unexpected challenges can lead to extraordinary outcomes, that rebellion can be refined, and that sometimes the most delicious victories are the ones that are served with a side of heartwarming memories and a dash of delightful chaos. And as for me, I remained a loyal friend, a grateful observer and a devoted taste tester, forever cherishing the memories of those unforgettable years, the delicious meals, and the enduring friendships forged in the heat of a very unconventional kitchen. One crisp autumn evening, years after the culinary clash, I found myself sitting on Eleanor's patio, the familiar scent of wood smoke and simmering spices filling the air. Eleanor, her hair streaked with silver, but her eyes still sparkling with mischief, recounted the story of the Thorne wedding, her laughter echoing through the twilight. Clara, now a mother herself, shared stories of her own culinary adventures, her voice filled with the same passion and determination that had once fueled her mother's rebellion. Darren and Lauren, their faces etched with the wisdom of experience, reminisced about the chaos and camaraderie of those early days, their voices filled with warmth and gratitude. Even Brielle and Julian joined us, their initial animosity replaced by a deep respect and affection for Eleanor and her unconventional approach to life. They shared anecdotes of their own culinary journeys, their voices filled with a newfound appreciation for the simple pleasures of good food and good company. The air was filled with laughter, the scent of wood smoke and spices mingling with the aroma of freshly baked bread. It was a scene of contentment, a testament to the enduring power of friendship, family, and the transformative power of food. The culinary wars were long over, replaced by a harmonious blend of traditions and innovations, a testament to the enduring legacy of Eleanor Vance, the queen of unconventional cuisine. And as I sat there surrounded by these extraordinary people, I knew that this was more than just a gathering. It was a celebration, a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the enduring magic of a perfectly imperfect kitchen. As the evening deepened, the conversation drifted to the future, to new culinary adventures and the next generation of cooks. Clara's children, already showing a keen interest in food, were excitedly discussing their own culinary dreams, their imaginations fueled by the stories of their grandmother's rebellious spirit and their mother's innovative approach. Eleanor, her eyes twinkling with pride, shared her grandmother's secret recipes, ensuring that the legacy of unconventional cooking would live on. Darren and Lauren spoke of their plans to expand their business, their vision fueled by their shared experiences and unwavering friendship. Brielle, ever the entrepreneur, shared her plans for a new cookbook, this one focusing on the culinary traditions of different cultures. Julian, his voice filled with quiet contentment, spoke of his next book, a memoir reflecting on his culinary journey and the lessons he had learned along the way. The night ended under a starlit sky, the air filled with laughter, the scent of wood smoke and the lingering aroma of delicious food. It was a perfect ending, a fitting culmination of a story that began with a returned check and a simmering resentment, a story that transformed into a testament to the power of family, friendship, and the enduring magic of a perfectly imperfect kitchen. It was a story of rebellion, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the power of one's own unique voice, a voice that, in Eleanor's case, spoke volumes, one delicious dish at a time. And as I drove home that night, the memory of that perfect evening lingered, a warm, comforting feeling, a testament to the enduring power of friendship, family, and the simple joy of sharing a meal together. The years that followed were filled with the quiet hum of contentment. Eleanor's kitchen remained a hub of creativity and laughter, a place where family and friends gathered to share meals, stories, and the occasional culinary adventure. Clara's restaurant thrived, her innovative dishes earning critical acclaim and attracting diners from far and wide. Darren and Lauren's sauce empire continued to expand, their products becoming staples in kitchens across the country. Brielle's blog and cookbooks inspired a new generation of home cooks, her work a celebration of simple, wholesome ingredients and the joy of sharing food with loved ones. Julian's writing career flourished, his articles and books celebrating the simple pleasures of life and the importance of family traditions. Even Dubois, having found his own unique voice in the culinary world, continued to collaborate with Eleanor, their joint ventures a testament to their shared passion for food and their mutual respect. The culinary wars were a distant memory, replaced by a sense of camaraderie and mutual appreciation. The story of Eleanor Vance, once a tale of rebellion and resentment, had transformed into a heartwarming saga of family, friendship, and the enduring power of food. And as for me, I remained a grateful witness to their extraordinary journey, a silent observer of their triumphs and a devoted participant in their celebrations, forever grateful for the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the countless, delicious meals shared in the heart of a perfectly imperfect kitchen. The taste of that Brunswick stew, refined and elevated, still lingered on my palate, a delicious reminder of a culinary adventure that changed more than just the menu. It changed lives.